You guys doing good? Must be nice. I'm doing all right, I guess. I just went back home. I went back home recently. I got to see my parents argue live. They still got it, you know. They're good. When I was younger, my parents used to always argue. I used to always take my mom's side, and my dad, he'd be like, "When you're older, you'll understand, but right now you don't know what I'm up against." And I feel like when a black guy says you don't know what I'm up against, it's the same as like when a white guy says he's fighting demons on the inside. And in both cases, they're not fighting anything. They're just not having sex. That's all it's. I think guys just say paranoid shit when they don't have sex for a long time. And now that I'm older, I get it, you know, because if I don't have sex for a while, I'm like, somebody's behind this, you know. And then when it does happen, a woman does offer to have sex with me, I'm like, who sent you? You know, it's weird. Yeah, but I went back home. It was fun. I got to hang at my parents'. It was nice. But sometimes my parents and I will do like the same thing coincidentally, and they'll mistake it for like bonding, which is sad because it's not. You know, like the other day, my dad, he went into the fridge, he grabbed an apple, and he was like, "You want an apple?" And I was like, "Sure." And he was like, "Man, this." We're so similar, dude. Like father, like son, yeah. I was like, get the out of my face. No, I grew up in an African household. African households are hard because you could get beat for no reason. I got beat because I turned 10 years old. It's true. I went up to my dad. I was like, "Dad, it's my birthday. I'm getting taller and stronger." He was like, "You threatening me right now?" I remember like one day my brother sat me down. He was like, "No matter what happens at home, you can't tell people at school that you get hit because they'll take you away and they'll give it to like a new family, you know." So immediately I told everybody. I went into the counselor's office the next day. I was like, "I want a white family, you know, with like a foyer, but they call it foyer, and they got like a beach-themed bathroom, you know." I was specific. I was like, I want the type of white family that has like a small dog with bad eyesight but a good heart. And she was like, "I'm just gonna call home and tell your dad to stop hitting you." And I was like, "You don't know how this works." Yeah, I've been trying to put myself out there recently. I've been trying to go on dates. I went on a first date recently, but I was high, which was a big mistake. You guys ever smoke and then do something that makes you realize how high you are? This happened to me. I ordered a drink. I didn't even drink it. I was just swirling my finger in the glass. And then she asked me if I was high, and I was like, no, which is wrong answer, because that means she thinks that everything I did on that date is how I normally act. Yeah. Halfway through the date, I started playing music out of the speaker of my phone. She was like, "Put it away." I was like, "This is the best part, you know?" Yeah, listen. I don't sleep around a lot, so when I do have sex, I get like excited, you know? You guys don't know. All right, I get excited. I feel like that's human, but what I've realized is that you can't appear to be excited before you're about to have sex. Like you can't jump up and down and shit. They don't like that. I had this girl in my apartment. She offered to give me a blowjob, so I just started like rubbing my hands together. That is the quickest way to not get a blowjob. I don't know. I'm a bottom. I told it to girl recently. She was like, "That's refreshing. That means you're like secure in your masculinity." And I didn't know how to tell her the only reason I'm a bottom is because I don't have like the upper body strength to do any other. I was like, if we do anything else, I'm gonna die, you know. Some people like missionary. It feels like a plank to me, you know? I did just find out what the term bottom means. I didn't know what this, I thought being a bottom meant you like lying underneath the woman. I didn't know it meant you were getting in the ass. I told everybody I knew I was a bottom for 2 years. I told all my guy friends, they were like, that's vulnerable, you know? I was like, what, you guys never bottomed before? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, you guys must be like strong, you know? They were like, no, dude, you're strong. I keep doing that. I'll like not fully understand what like a word or a phrase will mean, but I'll use it in my everyday vocabulary, which is, I did that with the phrase backed up. I thought that meant you're a fool. It means you're constipated. I'd go on a date with a girl, I'd look her dead in the eyes after eating, and I'd be like, I don't know about you, but I'm backed up right now. I'd be like, why am I not having sex? What's happening? You guys been great.